Good afternoon. I'm Assistant Sheriff Bryan Peterson with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm here today to provide additional details of an officer-involved shooting that occurred this Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Please note, we are still early into the investigation process, and as such, the details of this case may change as we collect more information. This is the third officer-involved shooting this year and the second fatal officer-involved shooting. At this time last year, we had one officer-involved shooting. The location of this incident is an apartment complex in the 8400 block of South Maryland Parkway. You can see an overview of the scene to my left. The officers involved in this incident are Jonathan Lowe. He is 39 years old and has been with LVMPD since 2019. He was armed with a Geisley 223 rifle with an optic and tactical light. The investigation revealed he fired 3 rounds. The second officer involved is Damon O'Donnell. He is 26 years old and has been with LVMPD since 2024. He was armed with a Springfield Prodigy 9mm handgun equipped with a tactical light. The investigation revealed he fired 2 rounds. Both officers are assigned to our Enterprise Area Command, which is part of our Community Safety Division. The suspect in this incident is identified as Quentin Baker. He was 28 years old, 5'9", and 170 pounds. Baker was armed with a Glock 43X handgun. There was 1 round in the magazine and 1 expended cartridge case jammed in the firearm. The investigation revealed he fired 7 rounds during this incident. 2 rounds were fired prior to the officer's arrival on scene. You can see a picture of the firearm on the scene to my left. The following are Baker's charges had he survived: murder with a deadly weapon, kidnapping with a deadly weapon, assault with a deadly weapon, 2 counts, assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence related, battery domestic violence by strangulation, battery with a deadly weapon on a protected person, and child abuse. The details of this incident are as follows. On February 3rd, 2026, at approximately 1:19 in the morning, LVMPD Communications received a call for service from a female stating a male had battered her friend. She also indicated the male was attempting to take her child from the apartment in the 8400 block of South Maryland Parkway. The initial call for service was disconnected by the female, but she called back approximately 3 minutes later. She stated that the father, later identified as Quentin Baker, was threatening to kill her and her son. I will now play you a portion of the 911 call from that female.
Tuesday, February 3, 2026, 01:22 and 53 seconds. 911 Washington 2060 police car. Police. What address? I can't hear you. What's the address?
South Maryland Parkway.
Is this a house or an apartment?
Apartment.
What's the apartment number? What's your name?
He's threatening to kill me and my son. I'm outside. He literally beat me and threw me downstairs. No, I see my son. He's crazy.
Where's your son?
He's in the house with him.
And that's with his father?
Yes, yes.
Where are you at right now?
I'm outside. I fucking told you. Like, I was
Where
there.
outside?
I literally.
We have officers
standing
on the way
in the
there.
parking lot. In the parking lot. Oh my God, please. Please You're not into my baby. He just tried to kill me. He's gonna hurt my baby.
While en route, officers learned that Baker had discharged his firearm twice towards a vehicle leaving the parking lot, and that Baker had taken his son and left in a vehicle. As officers arrived, they contacted the female outside. She told them that Baker was back inside the apartment with her child and that he was armed with a gun. She stated that Baker had pointed a gun at her and she believed she was going to die. She also stated Baker told her, quote, "If you don't tell them to call this shit off, and if they try to come up these stairs, I'm blowing the child's brains out and I'm blowing mine out. You won't have neither one of us." Baker also said he would not go to jail and that police would have to kill him. I will now show you body-worn camera video of officers speaking with the female.
How's it going? Hold on.
Wait, he said that you guys come together to leave me.
Where is he?
He's upstairs in the house. That's the gun. He said that if you guys come up there, he's going to kill the baby and me. I never dealt with anything like this. First time he acted like
Is
this.
it the one with the orange light?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you.
Okay.
Main priority is my
Okay.
baby.
As officers began assembling resources, Baker walked down the stairs out of the apartment while carrying the 3-year-old child in his left arm. Officers began issuing verbal commands to Baker, but he refused to comply. Officers can be heard saying that Baker has a gun and it was pointed at the child's chest. Baker continued to walk towards officers with the gun pointed at the child. He stopped and said he wanted to see the child's mom and he was going to kill himself. Because of the immediate threat to the child, officers discharged their firearm. Simultaneously, Baker discharged his firearm 5 times. I will now show you body-worn camera video from one of the officers involved.
Is he walking out this way? He walked that way. He's coming towards us. Hey! Show me your hands! Show me your other hand! Stop! Stop right there! Stop! He got a gun to the chest? Hey, gun! You move back because he doesn't have sight on. Hey, you need to put that down, man. Hey, take this shot.
I will now show you body-worn camera video of another officer on scene.
Hey, I move on the stairs. Move on the stairs. He's holding the kid. He's heading north. I'm losing sight. I've lost sight of him. Hey, he's coming towards us. Coming towards us. Hey! Show me your hands! Show me your other hand! Stop! Yep. Stop! You got something? Hey, you need to put that down.
So right there you can see Baker has the gun pointed at the child's chest. At this time, officers approached Baker to take him into custody and observed the firearm still in his hand. They also observed that Baker and the child had been struck by gunfire. To get the child to an ambulance as quickly as possible, one officer on scene picked him up and ran 325 yards. That's the length of 3 football fields. To medical personnel who were staged at the front of the apartment complex and I will now show you video of that officer's body-worn camera.
Sorry, buddy. It's okay. Dad, open the gate!
As you guys all just seen, very emotional at that point in time. The child was transported to a local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. Officers rendered aid to Baker, but he was pronounced deceased at the scene. Through the course of the investigation, detectives were able to determine that the child was struck in the head by a close contact gunshot wound when the suspect discharged his weapon. It was also discovered that one of the rounds Baker fired ricocheted and struck one of our officers in the foot. Here is a picture of the officer's boot. He did suffer a bruise and a cut on his foot. Here is a picture of the graze to his boot. So this will conclude the formal part of our briefing. Before I take any questions, I want to say we are very aware of what is being reported and the inaccurate and sensational claims being made in the media about this shooting. This is why we have a policy we follow, and every officer involved shooting, a captain does an on-scene media brief the day of the shooting. We release the officer's name within 48 hours. And within 72 hours, we provide a live media briefing with body-worn camera and details as we know them today. We take your questions and provide that information. Our force investigation team and our critical incident review team will continue their investigation for the next several months. We are one of the only police agencies in this nation with this type of transparency. With that, I will open it up for your questions.
Victoria with Fox 5. You're right, that was clearly very emotional to watch for us. But I want to ask, what is the department's policy on use of force when a child is present like that, potentially in the line of gunfire during a quote hostage situation?
All right, Victoria, so the question is, what is the department's policy on a situation where a child is being held hostage? I'll sum that up for you, right? So, Victoria, as you've seen, that's a very hard video to watch. And that child was being held hostage. And the suspect's intent was clearly stated by him to the mother several times, that he was going to kill that child and then kill himself. In this situation, the officers have milliseconds to make a decision. Their ultimate goal is to save that baby's life. And that's what they did that day. In every attempt to save that baby's life, that suspect chose those actions and followed through with what his intent was, and he killed his son.
Kristen Drummond with News 3. As you mentioned, it is very emotional, but he did state he wanted to find the mother to give her the child. So why wasn't he allowed to potentially find the mother to hand over the child? Why take those shots? And out of those 5 shots, how many potentially hit Baker, and did any of them hit the child?
Okay, Kristen, I'm gonna try to, you asked multiple questions in that, so I'm gonna try to get to all of them, but let me just state something, okay? Because what you stated first, that he was trying to get the child to his mother, that's inaccurate. That's not what he said. He said, I'm going to kill myself, I'm looking for the mother. So what that would state with all of his intentions is he's trying to fulfill what he already said that he was going to do and wanted her to witness this. But officers can't allow a guy with a gun pointed at a child to continue to advance and put more people in jeopardy, more people in harm's way. That can't happen. So this is the choice that the officers were confronted with, and this is why policing is not pretty, and it's very difficult, and officers are tasked with responsibilities that some people will never face in their entire life. They have to make these kind of choices. And unfortunately, for that suspect, he chose those actions of pure evil that day. I don't think I answered all your questions, so
Fired.
yes.
How many hit Baker, and did any of them hit the child?
So the question is, 5 rounds were fired. Did any of them hit Baker, and did any of them hit the child? So the autopsy has revealed that Baker sustained 4 gunshot wounds, and the child sustained 3. We know that 2 of those to the child, the close quarter contacts came from the father. The child did sustain 1 in the leg, and that is going to be determined through further investigation by the coroners and forensic to be determined where that round came from.
This is Joshua with 8 News Now. One of the family seems to take issue with the way police responded to this hostage situation. And we saw the video and how tense, and I know right now we're just playing Monday morning quarterback, but what would you tell the family who seems to take issue with the way police responded to the situation? The family of the child.
So the family of the child, I understand, they just lost a child. It's very difficult. They're very emotional with this. That's understandable. But understand, we get to sit in this room and ask those kind of questions. You've seen what those officers encountered that day. You've seen what was in front of them. They made a choice to try to save that child's life, and the father of that child chose otherwise and shot and killed his own child. Pure evil.
Has this guy ever been on your radar before, the fire Quinton Baker? Any history with the Metro Police Department that you know of?
He is not. Nothing, no contact with us previously, and there was no calls for service previously to that address. They had moved in the middle of January, and there was no calls for service or no contact previously here in Las Vegas.
And do you know how quickly from the time your officers responded, and I know you mentioned that at one point he took a child in a car and left, and your officer arrived. So can you walk us through the time from when your officers arrived to when they saw him with the gun, with the gun and the child?
So I don't have the timeline right in front of me as to how quickly they arrived and how the dynamics of him leaving, when he came back. I don't have that full timeline, so I don't want to misrepresent any times and be inaccurate on that. But as you've seen, she came out, she stated he was in the apartment. Our officers were trying to formulate a plan, and he advanced very quickly on our officers with the firearm pointed to our officer's chest. I'll take one more question, and that'll be it. Go ahead.
Sasha, I had a question. I wanted to know, there's been a lot of officer-involved shootings that have been involving domestic disputes. Do you have anything to say to the city as far as how to stop this or how they should navigate these domestic issues?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And again, there's a lot of resources. They need to take the chance to actually call out and for the help. They need to reach out to us. We provide them with information of other resources to get the help they need for safe housing or counseling or different things that would help them work through this. But yeah, we've seen 2 this year already, hostage situations with guns pointed towards family members, and it's in 2 fatal shootings. One more question, because I know you had.
Yeah, thank you. Sasha from Channel 8. You were talking about the emotional toll that these officers went through seeing this. How are they doing now? It's been a few days.
I'm glad I took your question, and thank you for asking about our officers. Extremely tragic situation, very difficult for anybody to have gone through that and be on scene and deal with that. Very difficult not only for our officers, but our crime scene analysts, our investigators that have to watch these videos over and over again. You guys just seen how difficult that is. But thankfully to our sheriff, he came in with a vision of creating the Wellness Bureau, and he's done a very good job of achieving that vision. We have a Wellness Bureau that sees 450 officers and family members a month. They were on scene that night, called out to that situation, and we're dealing with our officers and everybody that was on that scene to help them work through this difficult situation, and they will continue to do that throughout this entire process. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.